You will not believe what's happening in Sharina Hudson's world right now. Rumors are swirling, and fans are in total shock as the reality star we once saw living the high life is now reportedly broke, hiding, and allegedly left on welfare by none other than Kevin himself. Yes, you heard that right, Kevin Hudson, the man she trusted the most, may have abandoned her when she needed him the most. Emotions ran high as insiders claimed that Sharina has been spotted moving in and out of unknown locations, avoiding cameras, and refusing to answer calls. Could this be the lowest point in her life yet? And if that isn't enough, whispers from the Wendy Williams camp suggest that the talk show queen is secretly thrilled, calling it a moment of justice served. Fans are divided, some expressing heartbreak, others expressing schadenfreude at the unfolding drama. Friends and family are reportedly split, with some taking sides and others desperately trying to mediate. Every time we think we know the whole story, a new shocking detail emerges, and trust me, you're going to want to hear every single one of them. Stay tuned, because what's coming next is a roller coaster of betrayal, secrets, and jaw-dropping revelations that no one saw coming. Fans, hold on to your seats because the drama surrounding Sharina Hudson is far from over. Sources close to the reality star have revealed shocking details about her current life that have left everyone questioning what really happened between her and Kevin. Insiders claim that Sharina, once living in the lap of luxury, is now struggling to make ends meet, hiding from the public eye, and navigating a life that feels unrecognizable to those who followed her rise to fame. According to multiple whispers from close friends, the breakup with Kevin was far more than a simple falling out. Emotions ran high, accusations were thrown across the room, and family ties were reportedly tested to their breaking point. "I can't believe he would do this to me," Sharina allegedly said during a heated phone conversation with a friend. "Everything we built, everything I trusted, gone in a heartbeat." The betrayal, insiders say, cut deep, leaving her not only emotionally shaken but financially vulnerable. Rumors suggest that Kevin, who had once been seen as her protector, quietly pulled back his support, leaving Sharina to navigate welfare applications and basic bills on her own. The scene, described by an anonymous source, was heartbreaking. Sharina reportedly sat on the edge of her small couch, her phone in hand, staring at a screen filled with rejection notices, trying to hold back tears as her closest friend tried to console her. "You can't let him win," the friend insisted, grabbing her hands. "We will figure this out, together." Yet, even with support, the reality of her situation seemed impossible to ignore. While Sharina was grappling with her own demons, the public was getting wind of the situation. Fans noticed her absence on social media and started speculating about the reasons behind it. Some believed it was a simple break from the spotlight, but others were quick to link it to the alleged fallout with Kevin. "She used to post every detail of her life, from vacations to dinner dates," one fan tweeted. "Now she's completely silent. Something is definitely wrong." The fan base, divided in their reactions, began to form camps, those expressing concern and empathy, and those whispering that karma was finally catching up. Friends of the couple, meanwhile, reported being caught in the middle of the chaos. Some tried to mediate, offering to help Sharina financially or emotionally, while others felt compelled to remain neutral, fearing the wrath of both parties if they chose a side. One insider said, "The family was left divided. Nobody knew who to trust anymore. It was like walking through a minefield of feelings and accusations." The drama took another twist when a tip emerged linking Wendy Williams to the situation. Sources allege that the talk show host was quietly observing the chaos, reportedly finding satisfaction in Sharina's sudden misfortune. Wendy has always had a keen eye for these situations, a source close to her revealed. "She's not mean, but she knows when a public figure is facing a moment of reality that aligns with what she has commented on in the past. This is like watching a live soap opera." Fans reacted instantly to these claims, with some defending Wendy and others condemning her alleged enjoyment of Sharina's plight. Emotions online ran hot, as screenshots of old interviews where Wendy had commented on similar situations resurfaced. Social media buzzed with opinions, debates, and even conspiracy theories, with hashtags related to Sharina trending for days. Amid all this, Kevin's perspective remained largely invisible. A few glimpses into his life suggested he was moving on, but insiders hinted at private turmoil. Friends of Kevin reportedly confirmed that he was struggling with guilt, denial, and anger, all at once. He didn't expect things to get this messy, one friend admitted. Kevin thought stepping away quietly would solve the problem, but it only fueled the rumors and the drama. Meanwhile, Sharina's own circle of friends grew concerned for her safety and emotional well-being. Late-night texts, frantic calls, and unexpected visits from friends were becoming part of her routine, all in an attempt to keep her grounded while the public and private storms raged around her. One friend recounted an emotional night when Sharina broke down completely. She said she felt invisible, abandoned, and yet still expected to hold herself together in front of cameras and fans. I had to remind her that no one expects that. She deserves help, love, and stability. In the midst of financial struggles and emotional turmoil, Sharina reportedly made the decision to go off the grid temporarily. Insiders say she rented a small, inconspicuous apartment far from her usual neighborhoods and began to lay low. Her absence, however, only fueled more speculation. Paparazzi sightings, social media sleuths, and local gossip all added layers to the unfolding narrative. Fans were desperate for updates, while family members allegedly feared that her hiding was both a blessing and a curse, keeping her safe, yet isolating her from people who truly cared. The tension between public scrutiny and private pain created a perfect storm. Friends claimed that Sharina spent hours each day reflecting on what went wrong, trying to understand the dynamics that led to her being in this position. "She's intelligent and strong," one close confidant said, but this betrayal shook her in ways that are impossible to explain. She's questioning not just Kevin's loyalty, but her own judgment. Just when it seemed Sharina was reaching a breaking point, a new development allegedly shook her world further. Rumors started circulating that Kevin was seen with someone new, sparking outrage among fans and intensifying Sharina's emotional response. Insiders say she felt replaced, humiliated, and abandoned all at once. "He promised forever," she reportedly said to a friend, voice trembling. "And now he's moving on like we never even existed," the family, caught in the crossfire, reportedly attempted to intervene, urging Sharina to focus on herself and her own recovery, but emotions were too raw. Fights broke out during family gatherings, old resentments resurfaced, and the house of cards that had once held the family together began to collapse. The family was split down the middle, one source revealed. Every discussion about Kevin or Sharina ended in yelling, tears, or doors being slammed. The story continued to escalate as social media influencers picked up on the saga. Live streams, reaction videos, and insider posts flooded the internet, each with their own version of the truth. Some claimed to have exclusive updates, while others simply fanned the flames for views. Sharina, reportedly aware of the attention, remained silent publicly, adding to the suspense and speculation. Fans, desperate for a glimpse into her reality, expressed both concern and frustration. "We just want to know she's okay," one fan commented. "Please, someone give us a sign." At the same time, the rumors about Wendy Williams' involvement added another layer of tension. People speculated that Wendy might have inside information or even influence over how the story unfolded, causing debates and divisions in online communities. Sharina Hudson is depicted as a figure caught between heartbreak, betrayal, and the pressures of public scrutiny. Her relationship with Kevin has been fractured, her financial stability is reportedly compromised, and the presence of friends, family, and media only adds complexity to an already overwhelming situation. While insiders hint at potential steps toward recovery, the reality of her current life remains murky. Fans are left wondering, how did it come to this? Will Sharina find a way to reclaim her life? And what role, if any, will Kevin or Wendy Williams continue to play in this unfolding drama? As emotions run high and the family remains divided, one thing is clear: this story is far from over, and every new revelation threatens to upend what little stability she has left. As the days turned into weeks, Sharina Hudson's disappearance from the public eye only fueled more speculation and gossip. Insiders revealed that she had been spending long hours in her small apartment, staring at the walls, replaying memories of happier times with Kevin, and trying to figure out how her life spiraled so far out of control. Friends who visited described a stark contrast to the vibrant, outgoing woman they once knew. "It's like she's a ghost of herself," one close friend whispered. "She laughs sometimes, but it feels forced. You can see the pain in her eyes, the worry that won't leave her alone." The emotional toll was evident, and those around her feared that the combination of betrayal and financial strain might push her to the brink. One particularly tense night, Sharina allegedly received a surprise visit from a family member she hadn't spoken to in months. The reunion, described as raw and emotional, quickly escalated into a heated argument. "How could you let him do this to you?" the relative shouted, tears streaming down their face. Sharina, already on edge, responded with frustration and sorrow, "I trusted him. I gave him everything, and this is what I get. Do you think I wanted this?" The argument reportedly left both parties in shock, as old wounds resurfaced and new fractures formed. Friends who heard about the confrontation said the room was charged with tension, emotions running high, and the air thick with unspoken resentment. The family, it seems, was more divided than ever, with some members supporting Sharina's anger and others condemning what they saw as her inability to let go. While the family drama continued, another bombshell allegedly emerged. Sources claimed that Kevin was not only seen in public with a new companion but had also reportedly been making financial moves that suggested he was trying to erase traces of Sharina from their shared assets. Rumors circulated that bank accounts were being frozen, properties reassessed, and even mutual friends were being subtly pushed to take sides. "He's acting like she never existed," one insider said. "It's cold, calculated, and it's hurting everyone who still cares about her." These claims sparked outrage among fans, who flooded social media with messages defending Sharina and criticizing Kevin's alleged behavior. "How can he be so heartless?" one fan tweeted. "She gave him her trust, her love, everything, and now he just walks away like it's nothing." The backlash was immediate, with discussions trending across platforms and creating a storm of online drama that mirrored the chaos in Sharina's personal life. Amidst this, Wendy Williams reportedly made a quiet but noticeable appearance in the background. Insiders claim she reached out to certain friends of Sharina to subtly gauge the situation, allegedly smirking at reports of the star's struggles. "Wendy has a way of observing drama without stepping directly into it," a source explained. "She's like a hawk watching the field, noting every move, every misstep, every tear. It's part fascination, part schadenfreude." Fans were divided on this revelation, some criticizing Wendy for allegedly taking pleasure in someone else's misfortune, while others argued that she was simply doing what talk show hosts do: pay attention to stories that captivate the public. Either way, the rumors added fuel to an already raging fire, making every update on Sharina's life even more sensationalized and widely discussed. As Sharina struggled to maintain some semblance of normalcy, friends reported that she started confiding in a small circle about the abusive trust she felt from Kevin. "It's not just about the money," she allegedly said during one late-night conversation. "It's about the betrayal, the lies, the pretending that everything was fine when it clearly wasn't. I feel like I don't even know him anymore." These confessions reportedly came with tears, sighs, and long silences, painting a picture of a woman grappling with the collapse of her personal world. The emotional stakes were high, and even the smallest gestures of kindness from friends were magnified in importance. One friend shared that simply sitting with Sharina, watching old movies, and listening without judgment became a lifeline for her. Just when it seemed Sharina might start piecing her life together, a new twist allegedly emerged. Sources claimed that a confidential document, supposedly revealing Kevin's secret plans, was leaked to her circle. The document allegedly suggested that Kevin had been discussing strategies to minimize his public association with Sharina, including media appearances, social media posts, and even financial disclosures. "She was shocked," one insider recounted. "It was like seeing a blueprint of erasure. Everything she thought was private, everything she trusted, it was all being dissected behind her back." The revelation reportedly led to another emotional breakdown, this time in front of friends who had been supporting her. "How could he plan this while I'm still living it?" Sharina allegedly sobbed. "How could he think I wouldn't find out?" The room reportedly filled with quiet whispers, tears, and the kind of tension that leaves everyone unsure how to act. As the days passed, Sharina reportedly made small attempts to regain control. She began applying for jobs, seeking financial aid, and even exploring legal advice about her rights. Friends describe her as cautious but determined, taking measured steps to reclaim her independence while navigating the emotional labyrinth left behind by Kevin's actions. Yet, despite her efforts, the shadow of betrayal lingered. Even mundane tasks were reported to trigger memories of what she had lost, and each small victory felt like it was undercut by the weight of public scrutiny. "She's trying," a confidant explained, "but every day is a battle. She's fighting not just for survival, but for dignity, for respect, and for a sense of self that feels like it's been stolen from her." Meanwhile, rumors about Kevin's new relationship continued to swirl. Fans claimed to spot him at restaurants, social events, and even in shared social media posts with someone new, igniting speculation that he had moved on far faster than anyone expected. Sharina's friends reportedly expressed concern about how these sightings would affect her emotionally, fearing that each public appearance would reopen wounds that were only starting to heal. "It's like salt in the wound," one friend said. "Every time he's seen smiling, happy, it just reminds her of the betrayal, and she can't escape it." Despite their efforts to shield her from the media, the relentless public attention made it nearly impossible for Sharina to find peace, forcing her to retreat further into isolation. In the midst of all this, the family reportedly attempted another intervention. A small meeting was allegedly called, with relatives on both sides of the conflict coming together to discuss what could be done to help Sharina regain her footing. Tensions flared immediately, with accusations flying about who had failed, who had enabled the behavior, and who had turned a blind eye. "This is about her life, not your pride," one relative shouted. Sharina, exhausted and emotionally drained, reportedly sat quietly, letting the words wash over her, but inside, turmoil brewed. The meeting ended with no resolution, only heightened emotions and the realization that the path forward would be anything but smooth. Sharina Hudson remains caught in a maelstrom of betrayal, public scrutiny, and family tension. While she takes tentative steps toward reclaiming her independence, the looming presence of Kevin's actions, social media speculation, and alleged involvement of Wendy Williams ensures that every moment of her life continues to be scrutinized. Fans are left on edge, wondering what the next chapter will hold, how Sharina will navigate these treacherous waters, and whether justice, closure, or further heartbreak awaits. One thing is certain, the drama is far from over, and every new revelation threatens to deepen the emotional stakes and the public fascination surrounding her story. As the saga of Sharina Hudson continued to unfold, insiders claimed that the pressure on her mental and emotional state was reaching a breaking point. Friends reported that she had started experiencing sleepless nights, constantly checking social media for mentions of Kevin, Wendy Williams, and even herself. "She can't escape it," one close confidant said. "Every notification, every headline, every comment feels like a dagger to her heart." The strain reportedly led to heated arguments with friends who tried to offer support, as Sharina's frustrations boiled over into bursts of anger, sadness, and confusion. "I can't take this anymore," she allegedly yelled during one confrontation. "Why does everyone get to move on while I'm left picking up the pieces?" The raw emotion in her voice, insiders say, left her friends stunned, unable to respond except with comfort and patience. As if the personal turmoil wasn't enough, social media rumors escalated. Anonymous accounts began claiming they had inside information about Kevin's alleged financial maneuvers and his supposed plans to completely cut Sharina out of their shared ventures. One viral post suggested that Kevin had secretly been selling off assets tied to both of them, which allegedly forced Sharina into financial instability. Fans were shocked, flooding the comments with outrage, support, and wild theories. "This is unacceptable," one fan tweeted. "She doesn't deserve this treatment." "Kevin is heartless," another fan wrote. "Wendy Williams is loving every second of this." Can you imagine how petty it feels to be watched like that? The tension online mirrored Sharina's own internal struggle, creating a feedback loop of stress, worry, and uncertainty. Friends reported that Sharina tried to regain control by implementing strict routines. She began documenting every transaction, creating a list of bills, and even seeking advice from financial counselors. Yet, according to insiders, every time she made progress, she would receive another blow from rumors, sightings of Kevin, or leaked stories that reopened emotional wounds. "It's like running on a treadmill where the speed keeps increasing," one friend said. "She's trying to move forward, but life keeps pushing her back." The combination of public attention and private betrayal reportedly left her feeling trapped, questioning her choices, and unsure of who to trust. The family drama, according to sources, also reached new heights. Relatives who had previously remained neutral reportedly took sides, with some defending Sharina and others expressing frustration over her perceived inability to let go of Kevin. One particularly tense family dinner ended with doors slammed, accusations flying, and tears flowing freely. Insiders described the scene as chaotic, emotional, and raw, a perfect storm of feelings that had been building for months. Sharina, emotionally drained, reportedly retreated to her room immediately after, where she spent hours alone, reflecting on her past decisions and the people she had trusted. Meanwhile, Kevin allegedly continued to make public appearances with a new companion, further fueling speculation and resentment. Fans claimed that he seemed unapologetic, enjoying life as if nothing had happened. Sharina's friends reportedly tried to shield her from these updates, but given the pervasive nature of social media, it was nearly impossible. "Every time he's seen smiling or sharing moments with someone new, it's another heartbreak for her," one friend explained. Sharina allegedly confided that it felt like a betrayal all over again, compounded by the humiliation of being watched by the public while processing her pain privately. As if the financial and relational stress weren't enough, insiders suggest that Sharina was also facing health concerns. Reportedly, the combination of sleepless nights, emotional stress, and poor nutrition led to fatigue and anxiety. Friends describe her as pale, tired, and constantly on edge, highlighting the physical toll that emotional trauma can take. One friend said, "She's strong, but even the strongest people have limits." Right now, she's reaching hers. Yet, despite these struggles, Sharina allegedly refused to let anyone see her completely broken. She maintained a composed exterior in public interactions, masking the turmoil she experienced behind closed doors. In the midst of all this chaos, Wendy Williams allegedly re-entered the picture. Sources claim that she reached out to mutual acquaintances, subtly dropping hints that she knew what was really going on. Some insiders described it as Wendy positioning herself as an observer of the drama, almost like a puppeteer watching the pieces move across the board. "She's not directly involved," one source said, "but she knows exactly how to make the drama more intense without lifting a finger. It's like she's savoring the chaos from a distance." Fans, of course, noticed every little gesture, post, and rumor, speculating endlessly about whether Wendy's actions were innocent curiosity or a deliberate plan to stoke the fire. Friends of Sharina reportedly tried to encourage her to focus on self-care, therapy, and emotional healing. Late-night calls, long walks, and private conversations became her lifeline. One particularly intimate moment allegedly occurred when Sharina confided, "I don't know if I'll ever trust anyone again. I gave everything, and it was ripped away." Her friend replied softly, "You will. It will take time, but you are not alone. I'm here, and we will get through this together." The support, however, was tempered by the ongoing stress of public speculation, family tension, and Kevin's continued presence in the narrative. Just when it seemed like Sharina might start finding some stability, a shocking revelation allegedly emerged. Insiders claimed that documents, emails, and text messages from Kevin hinted at secret meetings, undisclosed financial maneuvers, and conversations about erasing traces of Sharina from shared ventures. The alleged betrayal was comprehensive, touching every aspect of her life from finances to reputation. "She was devastated," one source said. "It was like seeing the blueprint of her own life being dismantled without her consent." Friends reportedly tried to calm her down, encouraging legal advice and careful documentation, but the emotional damage had already begun to manifest in deep anxiety and sleepless nights. Amid all of this, rumors of reconciliation, confrontation, and even retaliation started circulating. Fans speculated endlessly: would Sharina confront Kevin publicly? Would she take legal action? Could Wendy Williams influence the narrative further? The speculation alone reportedly contributed to Sharina's stress, as she struggled to differentiate between rumor and reality. Insiders emphasized that every public post, media appearance, or social media update became a potential flashpoint, capable of reigniting drama in ways that were both unpredictable and overwhelming. Sharina Hudson is portrayed as a woman fighting on multiple fronts, emotionally, financially, socially, and even physically. The alleged betrayals, public scrutiny, and family conflicts have left her in a precarious position, struggling to reclaim her life while being constantly monitored by fans, media, and insiders. Kevin's continued actions, combined with the subtle yet potent presence of Wendy Williams, ensure that her story remains headline-worthy, captivating the public's attention and keeping emotions high. Fans are left with burning questions. Will Sharina rise from the ashes of betrayal? Will she find closure or justice? And how much longer can she withstand the pressures of a world that seems eager to watch her every move? The answers remain uncertain, setting the stage for an explosive final chapter. As the weeks dragged on, Sharina Hudson reportedly began taking more deliberate steps to reclaim her life, but insiders say the journey was anything but smooth. Friends describe her days as a mix of cautious optimism and overwhelming anxiety. She was reportedly applying for part-time work, attending financial counseling sessions, and even reaching out to legal experts to understand her options regarding Kevin. She's trying to build herself back up, one confidant explained, but the emotional scars are deep. Every move she makes, she has to weigh it against the constant stress of public scrutiny and the lingering betrayal. Despite the obstacles, Sharina allegedly expressed small moments of hope, laughing quietly during phone calls with friends or sharing stories about mundane victories like paying a bill or cooking a meal on her own. Just when it seemed like she was making progress, a shocking twist reportedly reignited the drama. Insiders claimed that Kevin had made a public statement about their past relationship, one that many interpreted as dismissive and cold. According to sources, the statement implied that Sharina had been the one to mishandle their relationship, subtly shifting blame onto her. The revelation allegedly left Sharina devastated. "I can't believe he would try to rewrite history like this," she reportedly said to a close friend, tears streaming down her face. "After everything, he just wants everyone to think I'm the problem." The friend reportedly held her hand, whispering reassurances, but the emotional blow was undeniable. As the drama intensified, Wendy Williams' rumored involvement added another layer of tension. Insiders claim that Wendy allegedly commented on the unfolding situation during a private segment, highlighting Sharina's struggles while making subtle nods to Kevin's supposed behavior. The reports suggest that Wendy's commentary, though indirect, was enough to stir social media debates, with fans accusing her of enjoying the chaos and others defending her right to discuss public figures. Wendy's presence looms over the entire situation, one source said. Even without direct involvement, her commentary shapes how the story is perceived, which only makes Sharina's life more complicated. Fans online were divided, some cheering for Sharina, others criticizing her, and the conversation remained heated, ensuring that the drama stayed front and center. Amid these public developments, insiders suggest that Sharina started exploring new avenues for personal empowerment. Reportedly, she began attending therapy sessions to process the betrayal, learning strategies to cope with anxiety, and even experimenting with journaling to understand her emotions. Friends describe her as cautious but determined, recognizing that the road to recovery would be long and fraught with emotional hurdles. "She's slowly taking back control," one confidant said. "Every small step counts, even if it doesn't feel like a victory yet." Despite these efforts, the shadows of Kevin's actions and the public spotlight reportedly made even minor victories feel bittersweet, as she continued to navigate a world eager to watch her every move. The family dynamics, according to sources, continued to complicate matters. Relatives who had previously remained neutral reportedly became vocal in their opinions, leading to tense phone calls, heated text exchanges, and uncomfortable confrontations during in-person visits. Insiders described one particularly emotional encounter where family members debated the best way to support Sharina, with accusations of favoritism, negligence, and misunderstanding flying freely. "The house was divided," one source said. "Everyone had an opinion, and no one seemed to listen." It was exhausting for Sharina, who just wanted some peace and support. Friends reportedly tried to mediate, but the emotional weight of long-standing family dynamics combined with the ongoing public scrutiny made this situation almost impossible to resolve. Meanwhile, Kevin's continued visibility with a new partner allegedly exacerbated Sharina's emotional struggles. Friends claimed that she felt humiliated and replaced, watching him seemingly move on with ease while she was left to pick up the pieces. "It's like he erased her existence and moved on without a second thought," one insider said. "Every smile he shares publicly is another wave of pain for her." Sharina reportedly struggled with how to respond, torn between confronting the situation, protecting herself from further harm, and navigating the media frenzy that seemed to follow her everywhere. Just when it seemed the tension could not escalate further, insiders claim that a confidential recording allegedly surfaced, capturing a private conversation between Kevin and a mutual friend. The contents, according to sources, suggested that Kevin had been strategizing to minimize Sharina's influence on their shared network of friends and business ventures. "She was shocked," one friend revealed. "He was literally discussing ways to erase her from his life completely, and she found out through whispers and leaks." The revelation reportedly triggered another wave of intense emotions, ranging from heartbreak to anger, forcing Sharina to reassess her boundaries, support system, and future plans. Amid this turbulence, insiders claim that Sharina began documenting everything meticulously. Friends say she kept detailed records of finances, messages, and interactions, preparing herself for potential legal action and protecting herself from further betrayal. "She's taking control," one source said. "Even if it's painful, she's ensuring that no one can manipulate or hurt her again." This meticulous approach reportedly offered her a sense of empowerment, even as the public and private challenges continued to weigh heavily. As Part 4 unfolds, Sharina reportedly began experiencing moments of clarity and personal growth. Insiders described scenes where she laughed with friends, revisited hobbies she had abandoned, and even expressed tentative excitement about future opportunities. Yet, despite these glimpses of hope, the shadow of betrayal and the ever-present media spotlight remained constant reminders of the challenges she still faced. "She's resilient," one confidant said. "But resilience doesn't mean the pain disappears. It just means she's learning to live with it while finding ways to reclaim her life." Toward the end of this chapter, insiders suggest that Sharina began receiving anonymous messages of support from fans, people moved by her story and determined to cheer her on. The encouragement reportedly lifted her spirits, reminding her that she was not alone. Friends said she smiled for the first time in weeks while reading comments and letters, feeling a sense of connection and hope amidst the chaos. She realized that even if her personal world is fractured, she still has allies, supporters, and people who believe in her, one source said. This newfound recognition of support, while not erasing the pain, allegedly provided her with a renewed sense of purpose and the courage to face the next phase of her journey. Sharina Hudson stands at a crossroads, navigating the aftermath of betrayal, family tension, and public scrutiny. Insiders describe her as cautious, resilient, and quietly determined to reclaim her independence, rebuild her reputation, and find emotional stability. Kevin's continued actions, combined with the subtle influence of Wendy Williams and the relentless attention of fans and media, ensure that her story remains captivating, unpredictable, and full of drama. Fans are left with lingering questions. Will she confront Kevin? Can she fully heal? And what surprises await in the next chapter of her life? As the dust begins to settle, one thing is clear: Sharina Hudson's journey is far from over, and every moment is a testament to her strength, resilience, and unyielding spirit. And there you have it, fans, the whirlwind saga of Sharina Hudson, a story full of heartbreak, betrayal, and drama that has kept everyone on the edge of their seats. From being left financially vulnerable by Kevin, to hiding from the public eye, to navigating family tension and social media scrutiny, Sharina's journey has been nothing short of a roller coaster. Emotions ran high, friends tried to mediate, and fans watched every move, dissecting every whisper, sighting, and rumor as if it were a live reality show. The alleged involvement of Wendy Williams only added more layers to the story, leaving everyone wondering who was really pulling the strings behind the scenes. Despite all the setbacks, Sharina has shown glimpses of resilience, slowly taking control of her life, seeking support, and finding small victories in the midst of chaos. So, what happens next? Will Sharina confront Kevin publicly, or will she quietly rebuild her life away from the spotlight? Can she reclaim her financial independence and emotional stability? And how much longer will fans be captivated by this ongoing drama? The answers are still unknown, and that's exactly why this story continues to fascinate and shock viewers around the world. Every twist, every revelation, and every emotional moment keeps the public glued, waiting for the next chapter in Sharina Hudson's turbulent life. If you've been following along and feel as shocked and intrigued as we do, don't forget to show your support. Like this video to let us know you want more updates on Sharina's journey, subscribe so you never miss a twist in the story, and comment below with your thoughts. Do you think Sharina will rise from this chaos stronger than ever, or is the drama far from over? Share your opinions and theories because we want to hear what you think. This is a story that keeps evolving, and your voice is part of the conversation. Stay tuned, because in the world of reality drama, nothing is ever as it seems.